So yeah, stuff's hard. I get it. But I'm a big believer in stuff happens, stuff's hard. You find yourself in a situation, you can stress about it, or you can figure out a way out of it. Now, there might not be a way out of it, but maybe you can at least start moving that way. How do you do that? Well, these days you can, like, if I got a problem, I'm usually not going to ask people that much anymore. I'm not. I'm going right to AI, and I'm going to be brutally honest with it. And I'm going to say, here's my situation. What can I do? And then I'm going to go from there and say, revise it. You know, I can't do that, and this is the reason. And it's going to come up with another solution. I can't do that because of this. It's going to come up with another solution. You know? Eventually you're going to get something where you get a plan. Even if you don't like what the thing is saying to you, it is a plan. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. You ain't going to like it. I guarantee you ain't going to like it. But it might come up with a plan. Like maybe you lose your car. Your car gets repossessed. You know, oh well, stuff happens. Now you can't go to your job that's 30 miles away. Oh well, what you gonna do? Maybe you take the bus for a while. Just off the top of my head. Maybe you take the bus for a while. Maybe you walk. Like I walked. I worked at a place, it was like, seriously, like 2.5 miles away. I walked to work a whole bunch of days, especially in the winter. You know, my car wouldn't start. I put on some long, I don't want to say Carhartts, but they weren't actually Carhartts because I'm too cheap for that. But it was like long overalls. I throw on some winter overalls and I'd walk my butt to work for 2 miles. You know? Doesn't matter how deep the snow is. If the snow is 6 inches deep, doesn't matter. I'm only driving 2 miles a week. I actually got to the point where I had to like run my car 30 minutes during the weekends because by the 5th day the battery would be dead because I'm driving 2 miles and I'm shutting it off, and I'm driving home 2 miles and I'm shutting it off. Thing never had a chance to charge. Stuff like that. But like, you know, maybe you got a gas station close. Work at that gas station. Ain't nobody want to work at a gas station, I understand it. But that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. That's just a solution. That's a solution. Maybe you gotta work at the gas station. Maybe you gotta do something else locally. Maybe there ain't no local solution. Maybe you gotta come up with your own solution. Maybe you gotta resell some stuff. And I'm just gonna leave it there. Maybe you gotta resell some stuff, you know? Resell the stuff that you paid a little bit more than you should have, and it's around the house. Maybe you gotta weed out your house and make you some money that way so that you can get, you know, and spend that money smartly. You know? Something along those lines. Maybe you gotta take in a roommate. Stuff like that. Or two roommates, 3 roommates, I don't know. Maybe you gotta make that work. Just, if you got an issue, go ahead and talk with, have a sit down. A brutally honest sit down with, don't talk to nobody. Ain't no person because they can't understand you. You can talk with chat. You can say, here's my situation. You ain't have to talk with chat, talk with whatever the heck. 3 or 4, I don't know, there's probably like 30 of them out right now. There's probably a GTV that's specialized just for what you want. But you can make one too. But go ahead and talk with chat. Have a sit down. Here's my situation. Here's what I see happening. You know? What is the plan we got? Come up with a plan. And be brutally honest. And be honest with yourself and what you can actually do. Don't be like, well, I'm going to work another, I'm working an 8-hour job and it ain't doing it, so I'm going to work another 12-hour job on top of it. I have, but it was only an 8 and an 8. But yeah, I've done a whole bunch, another one on top with about a 40-minute drive time in between the two. But do what you got to do. So like, if that's what you got to do, maybe you got to work 2 jobs and sleep in your car at the job place, because I've done that too. You go to the job place, you sleep in the parking lot, waiting for the job to start, because you start at maybe 5 o'clock, so you get there at like 3 a.m. and you sleep in the car before the job. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. That's what you got to do. Maybe you got 3 kids, so you can't afford daycare. Ain't nobody afford daycare, I can't think. So what you do, you get yourself a daycare license. Maybe you can do that out of your house. Maybe. Something to look into. Maybe you ask chat and all that, what do I got to do this? Maybe you're able to do that and make that, and make that work. But it's one of those things where it's a powerful tool that you can use to fix your problems. And you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be ashamed of coming to somebody and saying, like, talk with your mom or something. Talk with your mom. Be like, Mom, I screwed up. Here's where I'm at, and this and that. You're going to be ashamed of that. Okay? If you talk with chat, I mean, it has a record and all that, but who the heck cares? It's going to be a lot easier to talk to a computer that'll give you good, honest answers if you refine it. You got to refine it. First round might not be good. Second round might not be good. But third, fourth round might be dead nuts. Might be just what you need to hear. So when you have a problem, go to AI. You got all these forums and things. I don't even go to forums anymore. I go right to AI. If I need a diagram for a car or something, if I need a wiring problem, if I have a wiring problem or something, I go right to AI. It can probably find me that wiring problem. It can tell me how to do it. Tell me what wire it is even. What's this green and black wire? Well, that goes to this, versus going on a forum and there's a delay because people got stuff to do. Chat ain't got nothing to do. Chat has nothing to do but be happy for you and do exactly what you want. So you got a problem, go ChatGPT. I ain't saying it's the perfect fix. There ain't no perfect fix. There isn't no perfect fix. Everybody's different. But it's a start. So if you got a problem, ask AI. It can probably get you in the right direction. From what you do there, from that direction, it's up to you. After that, it's up to you. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be concerned about. It's all on you at that point. From there, you got to actually, implement it. But if you don't implement it, that's on you again. And then in another month, when you say you can come back and be like, well, I actually didn't do that, it might razz you a little bit, but you know what? Whatever. Move on to the next deal. Make it work. You learned a lesson there. So there's so much going on. I understand it, but make it work. And people are going to say BS and all this and all this and all that. Don't tell me, tell AI. Tell AI all this. Here's your situation. Be brutally honest. Don't leave a dang thing out. Tell them I got 3 kids. I just lost my job. I did this. I did that. I'm behind on this. I got student loans and all this. And how do I start to fix this? And it'll give you a start. From there, it's on you. Okay? But if you got a problem, these days, I'd start by asking AI. Be brutally honest and start. That's all you got to do. Just get moving. Once you're moving, but the hardest part is to get moving. Because if you just sit there and, I don't want to say complain, I don't want to say cry, go ahead and do that if you want. But once you can't cry and complain no more, try fixing the problem. All right. Thanks, guys.